What's up, guys? It's Chase here, and I'm back with a new build video. I'm sorry that I didn't post it on the 3rd like I said I would. I I got I got really sick, and I'm still sick right now. But I'm gonna try and post, or I'm gonna try and do my best right now. So banner needs to stay up at all times. Heals active at all times. Siphoning attacks for sustain. Bone armor active at all times. Keep blocking for the heal increase. '64 attributes into health. Capped resistance on both bars as long as the bone armor is active. Stage 4 vampirism. That's important. For my potions, I'm using Essence of Speed for Major Expedition. If you don't know how to make these, you can Google it. That's what I had to do. I had to Google it to learn how to make it. But yeah, Jack the Jake, that's my crafter. I think I'm gonna change the name in a bit though, because I have another character named Jake the Jack, so I'm gonna change the name of one of them. For my race, I am an orc. I am a Nightblade primary, which is very important. I just reached level 2000 though. I have the pack leader's bone broth for my food. And I have the steed stone. Will this guy back off? I'm in the middle of something. I'm using Vampire Stage 4. I have Balraha's Curse. If I pronounce that wrong, do not call me out in the comments. If you make fun of me for pronouncing something wrong, then I'll remove your comment permission. I do not care. This set gives you 1 line of health, 1 line of magicka, 1 line of stamina, reduces damage taken from environmental traps by 40%. When you deal damage, you have a 25% chance to create desecrated ground for 5 seconds. Which reduces the movement speed of enemies within 3.5 meters by 6%. Damages them for 1280 magic. damage every 1 second and heals you for 100% of the damage done. This effect can occur once every 5 seconds and scales off the higher of your max health. Which is why I have all my attributes in health, because my healing scales off my health. By the way, every weapon is defending. See, the staff and sword are defending, and then every armor piece is infused with the health glyph. So this has a life drain enchant. My staff also has a life drain enchant with defending, and it's the same set. Same thing with the shield. Infused with max health. And then for my jewelry, I have the same set, except these are swift with reduced potion cooldown enchantments. It's also important that you have everything gold if you want to have as much health as me. As much health and resistance as me, and speed, it's important that you have everything gold. So then I have leeching plate for my armor. This says when you take damage, you summon a cloud of leeching poison under the Asciliant. The cloud deals 1567 poison damage every 1 second for 5 seconds and heals you for 112% of the damage caused. This effect can occur once every 5 seconds and scales off your max health. So, leeching on the body, every piece infused with max health. And now for my Squall of Retribution, again, heavy, infused with max health. This says when you take damage, you gain 1 random effect for 6 seconds. Gain minor protection, which we already have at all times, reducing damage taken by 5%. So that part is useless, because we already have it at all times from Slotting Dark Cloak. But you can also get a damage shield, which is helpful, or you can get a heal, which is also helpful. I'm also going to update my solo Sork build. Okay, so for my gear, my Dark Cloak. This needs to stay slotted. Okay, so by the way, this used to increase the duration of Dark Cloak, but it doesn't anymore. So now Dark Cloak heal is only 3 seconds. It used to be 5 seconds on this build. So you just need the top 3 passives, because this one does not apply anymore to Dark Cloak. This is why it's important that you're a Nightblade primary, though, because you need both of these skill lines. You wouldn't be able to do that if you were a Necromancer primary. So that does mean that you're going to need a bunch of skill points for this build. Okay, so siphoning attacks. This is how I sustain, like I said earlier. Okay, sorry about that. Now I'm going to continue going over these. You need every passive for these. Okay, so Dark Cloak goes on the front bar. Siphoning Attacks goes on the back bar. Ravenous Goliath ulti goes on both bars. Bone Armor, or Beckoning Armor goes on your back bar. Agony Totem goes on back bar. And Dead in Pain and Hungry Scythe go on front bar. You need every passive for Bone Tyrant, and this is your subclass skill line. So, I'm going to teach you how to make the scribed abilities at the end of the video, but this one is Goading Throw. This is my taunt. And then you need every passive for One Hand and Shield. You need Trifocus, Ancient Knowledge, and Destruction Expert for Destruction Staff. And then on the back bar again, we got Crushing Shock. This is my ranged interrupt, since I'm always moving. If somebody is targeting me, I need to be able to interrupt it from afar occasionally, so I have Crushing Shock just in case. And then Heavy Armor, you need every passive. For Soul Magic, you don't really need the passives if you don't want them. This one, you don't need, because this only applies if you have a Soul Magic ability. These ones are optional. Soul Lock and Soul Summons are optional. They help, but you don't absolutely need them. You need every passive for Vampirism. This is important. The only reason I use Stage 4 is the reduced cost of Sprint, because the whole point of this build is that I'm always on the move. They can't kill me if they can't touch me. You need every passive for Undaunted maxed out. And then I have Binding Banner for my support skill line. You need to, I don't care how you do it, Battlegrounds, Cyrodiil, whatever, or just getting alliance points from the daily rewards. But you need to get your support skill line to level 5 in order to get the Banner Bearer. The fastest way to do it by far is Battlegrounds. You need this skill line to at least level 5 in order to get Banner. You need Banner for this build. Banner goes on both bars, just like the ultimate. I'll show you why. So, let's say I activate Banner like this. Banner needs to stay up at all times, but if I swap, it deactivates. That's why Banner needs to stay on both bars. Reese's, can you quit yelling at me? I already fed you today. I already fed you, girl. Can you quit yelling at me? Alright, anyways, I'm an Orc. The Orc is by far the best option for this build. You get 1000 maximum stamina, which helps because I'm a stamina tank. 1000 max health, which is more healing. When you deal damage, you heal for 2380 health. This effect can occur once every 4 seconds. Increases your weapon and spell damage by 258. Not many people are aware of this, but the more spell damage you have, the more potent your healing is. So this is actually helpful for healing as well, not just the health. And it also reduces the cost of sprint by 12% and increases movement speed bonus of sprint by 10%. That's also good. As I said with my vampire, the only reason I use stage 4 is the reduced cost of sprint, because the whole point of this build is that I'm always on the move. Now, if I take off my threads, body marking, and then I take off Meridian Purified, I wear a skin that hides the fact that I'm a vampire. So if I take it off, I look like the snow. Lots of people don't like vampire tanks. So I'm wearing a skin that makes me look normal. It doesn't make me look super pale. And then I like wearing the body marking from Lucent Citadel with it because I think it looks cool together. So that's the look. And I'll show you my outfit since I showed you my skin. I the Debella's Exhalation Jack, and then arm cops. These are all for the same style, by the way. And then for this, I have House Mornard sword. I could also use the Holojack one, but I like this one. That one looks cool. I also like the Ice Reach one. So, I also like Aldmary's shield, but I'm using a Postal Shield, or however you pronounce that. And I'm using Soul Cleaver Staff, which I got from the Infinite Archive. It's for the Nightblade class. And then I have the Hide Helmet. And now for the dye on all my pieces, I'm using the Void Pitch. This one takes a lot of grinding, but it was worth it. Alright, now champion points. So you need Out of Sight and Fleet Phantom. Guildfingers. This one is not essential, but it helps. Same with this one. You need Steadfast Enchantment and Max Out Breakfall. This one is also helpful, but it's not essential. Rashner, you do need, that's essential. And you need Liquid Efficiency and Steed's Blessing. Professional Upkeep is helpful. And Sustaining Shadows is what you need. So put 25 in here. Don't slot it. Just put 25. So that way you can unlock the Bulwark. You need Tireless Discipline, Eldritch Insight, Precision. You need Quick Recovery, and then you need to get all of these passives. But max out Quick Recovery first. That one's the most important. And then come in here and max out Blessed. Get Focused Mending. This increases healing done with single target heals by 2% per stage. Maxes out at 10%. So every heal I have is a single target. And this also increases your healing done with healing over time effects by 10% when you max it out. Again, every heal I have counts as a heal over time effect. You need to get Biting Aura, because your area of effects will heal you. This counts as area of effect. This also counts as area of effect. And so does your ultimate. You only need 10 in here. Max out Battle Mastery and max out Mighty. Because your leeching does poison damage, so this will buff the healing from there. Max out Flawless Ritual and War Mage. Your ultimate does magic damage. Your Balrah's Curse set does magic damage. So this is also increasing the healing that you get. You need Boundless Vitality for more health, which means more healing. You need Fortified, because it's the only way to get that cap resistance. Get Expert Evasion. Max out Mystic Tendency. Tempered Soul. Piercing Gaze is helpful. Hero's Vigor. Hasty, and then come over here and get Celerity. Sprinter. And you basically just need to max out all of these passives, and then you're good. Don't forget about Nimble Protector. And now I'll show you how to make the scribe abilities. Go to Shield Throw. Get Taunt. This will taunt enemies to attack you. You need that since you're a tank. Get Thief Swiftness, which will grant you the ability to walk through enemies. And then you can get Vitality, which will give you Major Vitality for 10 seconds. And then the next one, you need the Banner Bearer. You need a Mobilize Script, which will make you immune to snares and immobilizations while the banner is active, which is why the banner stays active at all times. You need Thief Swiftness again, which reduces cost of sprint by 22% if used on the banner. And then you need Berserk, because like I said earlier, more damage is equal to more healing on this build. Because the damage is based on your max health, and then the healing is based on the damage. I'll show you the rotation for this build. Banner stays up at all times. Don't mind the low DPS because this is a tank. This is not a damage dealer. Heal stays active at all times, as well as the bone armor. And taunt also needs to stay active at all times. Consume corpses to generate ulti. Reese's, quit yelling at me down there. I already fed you earlier. If you need to stun, you activate your bone totem. Keep your heals active. Let's say your health got really low. Just keep bone armor active. I gotta deactivate the heals. I'm just going to demonstrate it. I gotta deactivate the heals real quick. Keeping bone armor active though. So let's say your health got really low. That's when you use your ultimate. And then the rotation is the same with your ultimate. So yeah, that's how this build works. So thanks. This this is one of my best tanks I have to offer, and it's been Chase, and I'll see you again in another video. Bye.